increasingly digital world where phone and computers efficiently remind us of our appointments, habits, and news of the day, pen and paper-based systems create a record beyond the usual sequence of meaningless meetings and chores. It's more of a snapshot of your life, and no one really knows that better than us, the stationery addicts, who have no problem going out and spending lavishly on a new notebook, pen. One thing we can all appreciate is going into the new year starting a new notebook or journal. A fresh notebook means a fresh start, right? Enter Techo Kaigi. Techo means planning in Japanese, but more similar to logbook is what they say. But you get what I'm saying. Kaigi means meeting in Japanese. Therefore, Techo Kaigi is a planner meeting. And no one really said it better than our friends down at the Stationery Cafe, who define a Techo Kaigi as a journal planner meeting where a person sits down and reflects on what journaling system worked and did not work for them in the previous year. So welcome to my 2022 Techo Kaigi. Yeah. Just gonna. What's going on, guys? Happy 2022. For all of you that don't know or are new to the channel, my name is ThatJournalingGuy, also known as Bryant. Why do I always mix that up? Not also known. How are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Bryant, also known as ThatJournalingGuy, and welcome to my 2022 Techo Kaigi. So, I definitely want to give credit where credit is due. I am very, very inspired by Job's journal. I absolutely loved watching his Techo Kaigi last year and his Techo Kaigi for 2022. I saw it and I was like, this is awesome. I would love to share my planner stack with you guys. So here I have all of the planners, boom, in this little Instagram post that I made right here. I have all of the planners that I'm going to be using for 2022. And it's really exciting, okay? It's really exciting because I'm trying out a whole bunch of new systems and trying out a whole bunch of new brands, a whole bunch of new notebooks. And, you know, I gotta admit, I'm part of the niche fam now, you know? Like, I'm a Hobonichi kind of guy now, which is crazy, because if you saw my rankings and my tier list of the notebooks, one of the things I didn't like about the Hobonichi notebook was the fact that the paper was just so thin, and I hated it. And I was like, but that was the old Bryant. We've kind of gone through a metamorphosis. You know, we've really grown out of our shell. We've blossomed. And now that I use a shit ton of fountain pens, I really do find the paper to be magnifique. In terms of other art, like watercolor and stuff, I don't really like it that much still, but I can't argue. It works amazing with fountain pens, but we'll get to that when we get to the Hobonichi stuff, okay? So we're actually gonna go, we were gonna do, or what I was gonna do, blah, blah, blah. So what I was going to do is I was going to go through like ongoing and then supplementary notebooks, but we're just going to go from size. Okay, we're going to start from like the smallest notebook down to the biggest notebook, and I'll let you guys know how often I'll be using it and whether it's going to be ongoing, daily, or supplementary. Okay, so let's begin with one of my beauties, okay, and that is the Traveler's Notebook Passport. It's a little camel. And now this notebook I use for a multitude of things. So as of right now, on a daily basis, I use my Traveler's Notebook Passport as my wallet. And inside of here, I don't have anything too crazy. I just have it as my wallet. I have my cards in there. Inside of here, I have one insert. And in this insert, I have it be like a very super simple version of my bullet journal, like an overly simplified to-do list, a very simplified to-do list. So here, the notes, to-dos, and everything in between. Did I spell in between wrong? Between? That doesn't look correct. It's ugly. Don't judge me. Okay, I know. Let me put up the brightness a little bit for you. Okay. And so literally in here, like make sticker pack, make Pokemon scene. It's literally like, did I do it? Did I not do it? And it's crossed out. And then I make some notes of like stuff I have to do. So make meal prep, record hand lettering update. Like it's super, super simple. It's super simple. And then here I have other cards. I've just taken them out for the purpose of the video. But I absolutely love it. I love how it's starting to age. The leather is starting to look real nice from it being in my pocket. I have no problems carrying it in my pocket. The other benefit of having this little passport notebook is that I use it as a traveler, like a travel notebook, genuinely. So whenever I go on my trips, this is the journal that I dedicate for that trip, as in I have a little insert that I use to document my trip. And I documented my trip to New York, and I have a little Japan one that I documented all of my trip in Japan. They're not finished, don't judge me, but I'd love to show you guys when they are done. But there's just something really convenient about carrying something this small to put all your little goodies, like your receipts, your tickets that you get on the trip, and being able to document it. I'm absolutely in love with my traveler's notebook. This is actually just an Archer and Olive little notebook. It's one of their newer notebooks. This is kind of just like an all-encompassing notebook. So this is kind of just like it's one of those notebooks that I have that I also carry with me in like my backpack. I usually carry a sling bag or my camera bag where I have it to jot down any notes. So a lot of the time what I do is I do leave my wallet inside of my car whenever I'm going to work or whenever I'm going shopping if I don't need it. And I'll take this with me where I make all of my notes and I need to quickly jot down a phone number, jot down an address. This is the notebook that I use. I try really hard to not worry about how it looks, but it's a relatively new addition to my planner stack, and I'm pretty excited for it, considering that Archer and Olive has done a really good job with fountain pens now. Their newer lineup of journals and notebooks are very fountain pen friendly, and I'm absolutely impressed with how they're handling my fountain pens. Everything from extra fine to a medium nib seem to be working a-okay in the 160 GSM paper. So I'm in love with it, and I carry my Diplomat Traveler with it. This is my daily pen too. I carry this everywhere with me. I use it for everything, and it is absolutely one of my favorite fountain pens that I've gotten. So this is a new journal, okay? And so the thing that I want to emphasize about like having so many planners this year is I've always been a like 1 or 2 planner kind of guy, okay? I used to really overstuff my bullet journal with everything, okay? Everything was always centralized in my bullet journal. And 2 things I didn't like about that. 1, I feel like I wasn't using my supplies enough. I have a crap ton of notebooks and journals that I do want to use really badly, but I was like, I'm just going to waste the space. And I ended up just overdoing my bullet journal. It was hard to find things, even with indexing. It felt unorganized in the sense that I just had random spreads to document random things, to track random stuff. So that is what's changing this year. So for 2022, I've pretty much broken down the main like categories of my life that needed organization and dedicating a journal / planner to each section of my life. And I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited to try that stuff out. And so in this like journal stack, you're going to see like there's hyper specific journals, and then there's completely random journals where you're going to be like, okay, why? But don't worry. Okay, relax, it's okay. All right, let me explain. So this one's interesting. This one, which, hear me out, okay? It's kind of cool in the sense of like documenting things, but this, okay? This is a list journal. Yes, you heard me right. It is a journal that is just specific to lists. And now you're like, Bryant, what kind of fucking lists are you gonna be documenting here? Let me tell you, okay? Imagine you're like on a date and somebody asks you, yo, what are your favorite foods? And you're like, all right, well, this is my 14th date in 2 weeks. I'm tired of answering this question. Let me reference the journal. So you go here, boom, bop, easy. You go, see, so I have favorite Pokemon, favorite video games, animated movies, This is relatively new. I'm still using favorite foods. Boom. So according to this journal of my favorite foods, I love tacos, arroz moro, French fries, Chips Ahoy, chicken parm, nachos, Cheetos puffs, Snickers, a Twix, some mild wings, steak, and a hamburger. Damn. Boom. Now we're in love, and it's done. You see? Easy. I referenced the list journal. No, but seriously, I think it's really cool to document how you've changed over time. That's one of the biggest reasons why I document everything in my life. Like, that's why planners and journals are so important to me, because I think you should always be changing. You should always try to be bettering yourself. And it's also cool to see how your life has changed based on the things that have happened to you, right? So in here, I'm just writing really basic lists. It's not really like super artistic. It's not super like, there's not a lot of pressure, okay, to be filling this out. It's just every once in a while, I'll think of something, of a list of things that somebody will ask me, like, hey, what's your favorite video game? I'll be like, you know what? Let me check the master list. So some of the few ones, like, people have asked me, what are my favorite Pokemon? I wrote that down. See, not overly artistic. It's literally just bullet points. What are your favorite video games? I wrote that down. What are your favorite movies? I wrote that down. What are your favorite animated movies? And so little by little, you start to populate this journal with lists that pertain to your likes, dislikes, and favorites of your life at this point, right? And I think it's really cool. I think it's a really cool little simple way to document who you were at this point in time and how things could change, right? Because I know I didn't really used to like seafood. I wasn't the biggest fan of fish. I love fish now. I love shrimp. I love lobster, salmon. Don't even get me started. Except octopus, okay? I have a phobia that they're gonna get stuck in my throat and they're gonna suction cup and I'm gonna die. I can't. Everybody in my immediate stationary circle was using Hobonichi for something, even if they were bullet journaling or whatever it was. Everybody seemed to be in love with these notebooks, and I guess I had a little bit of FOMO, okay, I'm not gonna lie, but I went a little bit hard buying some Hobonichi this year. Which, by the way, I don't ever want to order from Hobonichi again, okay? Because just the shipping was ridiculous. Shipping was like $60, and I only bought $50 worth of notebooks, so over half of the price was the shipping. So I'm not a fan. I'll end up like waiting till Yoseka or something in the States gets the notebooks, because Jesus. But here I have a Hobonichi Weeks. It is my one of two Hobonichi Weeks. So in this Hobonichi Weeks, okay, what I have turned it into, this Hobonichi Weeks, what I have turned it into is my social media planner. So in my social media planner, I'm going to be writing down my dates, my metrics, and my schedule, okay? And again, I do have digital versions of everything that I'm talking about here is in my Notion database, okay? Like my second brain. I have everything pretty much carbon copied into Notion. So I have two versions of everything. I would still be devastated if I lost one of these notebooks, but it's not a complete loss. So that's why I always say, like, have redundancy in your life, okay? Always have a second copy of everything, because you never know when you're gonna need it. But here I started to document my schedule, right? So this is just an idea of some of the stuff that I'm doing. So like, these are the YouTube videos that I'm going to be making when they're going to be ready to take out. Here I have my Instagram, and here I have my TikTok ideas. And so here I have an entire calendar view of what needs to be scheduled for when. It's not overwhelming. This is kind of just a due dates type of view. Then here I included like these little tabs, which were really cool. So here I just want to give you guys a general idea of how I have my week set up. So it's not as elaborate as a lot of the Hobonichi planners that you're going to see on Instagram. Some of those are amazing. They look fantastic, but something I really always emphasize with my planners and my journals is functionality, right? Like, your planner needs to work for you. You can't work for your planner/journal. You have to make sure that above all else, it's helping you organize and do what it has to do for you, okay? So simply, I just have a weekly to-do list. I have the goals of what I'm trying to do in that week. Here I have notes, but I have something that I can't show you guys there. And then literally what I have to do for my social media. So organize my journals, because I was planning for this video, research Techo Kaigi's, post Inkfield's TikTok, and record a Techo Kaigi video. The next one is also another Hobonichi Weeks in pink for 2022. So here, this one's a little bit different. This one I have as a 1 sentence a day journal. I have it to track my expense list. I have it to track my weekly life to-do list and just random notes. I also just have stuff that I need for my work, right? Or for my life. So like I'm starting a program, some birthdays, some goals for the month that I have at the bottom. This is kind of just how I have my week. So I call them peak moments, and in these peak moments I'll write something down. I'll have my grocery list here of what I need to buy, this week's to-do list, and the expenses that I have for the week. Nothing too crazy, but again, it's just I really wanted to use different notebooks. I wanted to use I wanted to figure out what kind of style I really enjoyed when I'm writing all these things in journals, right? And don't get me wrong, this can all absolutely be centralized into one journal, one planner. But it's a year of exploration. It's a year of creativity. It's a year of learning what I like and what I don't like. So I'm super excited to just have all of these journals, to have the opportunity to try them all out. And one big theme that I have planned overall for all of my journals is that I'm genuinely trying to make writing a daily habit. I'm trying to get in the habit of writing every day, some way, somehow, something. Next, of course, I have my Archer and Olive Traveler's Notebook, which is my 2022 bullet journal. So I've tried all the form factors. I've tried a B5, I've tried an A5, I've tried a Traveler's Notebook. I'm lying. I haven't tried the square notebook. That might be my next one. But as of right now, I'm using an Archer and Olive Traveler's Notebook as my bullet journal. Bullet journal, just to give you guys an idea, is the more creative side of my planning. I love doing cover pages. Here, I'll be tracking my habits, like the habits that I'm trying to complete for the month, a sleep tracker, and a finance tracker here. And then in the back, I have my dailies of what I need to be doing every day. So nice and simple, but really I try to make it as nice as I can, make it look as artistic as I can, because this is one of those journals that I give myself that freedom, right? I want it to look nice. That's the purpose of it. It's aesthetic. This is what I post on my Instagram, right? So again, it's one of those things hey, functional, make sure you're still using it, make sure it's doing what it has to do for you. But I really, really keep most of my artistic desires contained into this journal. Okay. Oh, that's a daily, by the way. Have I not been doing that for those? This is a daily for sure, and absolutely my pride and joy, my baby. This is my Traveler's Notebook, and I absolutely love this Traveler's Notebook so much you have no idea. It's just my baby. And I got this Traveler's Notebook when I went to New York, and I got it at one of the stationery stores. It was Kinokuniya, and it was awesome. It was awesome. So inside of my Traveler's Notebook, I have three different inserts. Okay. In these 3 different inserts, I have my personal journal, which is my diary. Okay. This is what I have in here. I pretty much, let me just see. I can't even really show anything. I can't really show anything in here, but this is essentially where I write down my thoughts, my feelings, events of my life, and all of the other previous journals are all supplemental to this. So this journal I write in about every 3 or 4 days, and that's because I kind of use the other notebooks, like my sentence a day journal and one that I'm going to explain in a second, as supplements to kind of summarize what's been happening in my life. And I would consider this generally a summary of my days, my life, my thought process. And it's very emotion based. So I kind of explore how I feel, what I think, what certain events made me feel. I attribute this type of journaling very much to my emotional intelligence and how I've developed my emotional intelligence. My understanding of my needs, wants, and desires is because of this type of journaling. So I highly recommend you have one, you keep one. Second one is my notes. This is just a general notebook. Again, no pressure to decorate. What I have in here is just general, first ever Screen and Quill shipping batch. The perfect sizes for my planner kits, my bullet journal themes. I just try to, keep it very, very basic. Just have it open while I'm working on stuff to make sure I have somewhere to jot down notes. Now, something that I've implemented into my the second half of 2021 that has been very beneficial to me is meal tracking, right? I've been really putting in the effort to get my health in check and start really prioritizing my weight and my health. And a big factor that has played into a lot of my success recently has been my meal planner. So easy. To give you guys an example of what I have in my meal planner, boop. So I am working on a calorie deficit type of program. That's how I'm losing weight. I'm always trying to make sure I'm in a calorie deficit. So I'll talk about what I ate during the day, how many calories I burned, my calories in versus calories out, and then the deficit, right? Then I have this little water tracker at the bottom to make sure I'm at least getting my 8 cups of water, but usually it's a little bit more. And then my workouts. So these are just little, I've really tried to implement more of my stationery supplies in my journaling. So I have this Winsor & Newton watercolor set, and so I try to draw and doodle little watercolors of what meals I had during the week, and that's what this is. And then I have my little Avi stickers, so I just document my workouts, my sets, and that's just a good way to track my progress throughout the month. So I started on August 30th, and I'm now caught up to January. The next one, is the Hobonichi Notebook. It's just a regular Hobonichi Notebook, and this is the one that I had before I had the planners, and this is what I was basing all of my assumptions on, and turns out I really like it now. But it was one of those things where it's like, I'm the type of person who really likes a pristine, tight notebook, right? Like when they get chunky, I don't really like chunky boys. Well, that's changed a little bit because like my traveler's notebook's chunky and my past bullet journal was starting to get chunky. I don't mind them now, but before I had that mentality. It's like I just like when they close perfectly and they're just nice and shut. Well, I actually started using my Hobonichis now, and I love them. I love it. So this notebook here is my review notebook. So here I'm reviewing my books, any type of media. So like movies, shows that I'm seeing throughout the year, and it's really easy. So I'll go here and just do the date watched, the date it was released, give it a review of why I liked it, why I didn't like it, and then give it a score. So I gave that a D. Here, this is a book, so I talk about the book, how I felt about the book, the character development, blah, 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 blah. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Why I changed my rating system, I don't know. Don't judge me. So I call this my review journal, and this is just something that's supplementary. I'll pick it up when I watch a new show. Lately, I haven't had too much time to finish watching anything really. The last thing I watched was Arcane. So I need to document and write a review on it. Boom. The next one. Dun, 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 dun. Bink. This is also a social media notebook. The other one's a social media planner. This is a social media notebook. And what do I mean by my social media notebook? Here, not only do I write down my ideas of certain Twitch ideas and what I want to do, like all of my socials, so Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, my actual ideas that come to me. But here I will actually develop a little bit of an outline for my videos. So for my videos, or for like a podcast that I'm working on, or for my blog, I like to develop an outline of what I would like to research, what I like, some facts, how I kind of want to structure the idea and what I'm talking about. So this is for an upcoming video, my problem with habit trackers and the pros and cons and how I felt and some of the research that I did while trying to make the outline for the video. So this is another social media notebook, but it's a little bit different. I don't really try to keep anything that's date based, so no schedule, no actual planning of when things are supposed to go up or what like things are supposed to happen. It is just a brain dump and a place for me to elaborate my ideas a little bit further. So that one is really cool. By the way, that is a Midori notebook, and I absolutely love the paper. Here, this is another Tomoe River notebook, specifically Tomoe River paper, because apparently I guess I'm in love with Tomoe River paper. This is my new fact a day journal, and it's something that I'm starting back up in 2022. It was something that I was doing before when I was like in my early 20s, 18, 19, 20 years old. And so in here in my fact a day, I just try to learn something new every day. And I usually kind of categorize it into different topics. So like some of it will be computer programming, and so I try to label each like entry for computer programming so I could find it a bit easier. I'm really interested in like art history, so if that day I'm trying to learn a little excerpt, a little snippet of some kind of art history, I'll write it down in here. This is also one that's just largely unorganized, and it's just something personal for me that I like to keep a record of. Why? Because sometimes you can just go into it and just be like, hey, remind yourself of some stupid fact that you learned, right? I don't know why. It's just something that I enjoy doing. I can't even explain it. The next and final one is, this is a lot. Okay, going into this journal, this planner, I feel pressured. I feel like there's a lot of pressure that comes with starting one of these, because one, it is based a lot on daily planning, daily notebook journaling. Let me explain. You have an entire page per day. Okay, that's a lot. That is I don't like to see empty pages in my journal, and there are so many things that people do with these. Okay, so many things I can't even begin to get into it. And one of the biggest struggles that I had starting my Hobonichi Techo was deciding what I was going to do with it. How was I not going to end up with just empty pages? What were you going to use this for? What could you use this for that would make you feel like satisfied and would make you feel like you're not just wasting your time or your pages? So this is, an amalgamation of everything. That's what I ended up coming up with. It is just everything. Okay. It is an art journal. Okay. Here is where I'm writing my morning pages. I'm tracking what I'm doing during my day. I have quotes in here, what kind of media, like songs that I discovered during the day. What else? But a lot of it is just memory keeping. Like, it is a memory keeping journal / planner. But let me explain to you a bit of how I use it. So these, I haven't figured out what to do with them yet, so don't judge me. I will figure it out. I'm only 4 days. It's only been 4 days in here, okay? Like, damn. But to give you guys an example, I still need to finish that. I just have a random time log of when I woke up, what I did, how I go to the gym, and I'm tracking what I'm doing in my day. Now, I already do that, okay? I do that with my Timular app on my computer and on my phone, and I do a really good job of keeping time logs of how much time I spend doing certain activities. So I think this is just a further extension of what I do digitally, and I love, if you know, when I speak about journals and stuff, I love having that. I think digitals and pen-based systems of organization can coexist. So that's what I do. Then here, I'm just going to blur out some of the morning pages because I don't want you guys reading those. But here I have my morning pages section, the tab. I'm trying to do one doodle a day, okay? I'm trying my best to do one doodle a day to just practice some doodling skills, or maybe have really big entire page drawings and watercolors that I'm trying to do. But this is generally how it looks. I'm trying to have one quote that's inspiring or pertaining to my life, have my mood for the day, some random little stickers, where I wrote the entry, and the temperature of the day and stuff like that. So I would just, you know, I don't want there to be a pressure for me to feel like I have to decorate it, but I'm trying to decorate it. I'm trying to make it look nice. I want to use these Hobonichi Techos, like these Hobonichi planners, to the fullest of their, like, to the fullest extent that I possibly can within my life, right? Sometimes I just don't have shit to write about, man. Sometimes, you know, but I'm trying to make the habit. I'm trying to make it something. Not that I'm trying to, like, defend myself or why I do certain planners. I'm just trying to have you guys understand a little bit of my thinking process and how things are done, right? So anyway, that is my planner stack and journal stack for 2021 for 2022. Okay, so that is my planner stack for 2022. I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 journals and 11 notebooks and planners that I will be using for 2022, not including like the individual inserts. That is the most that I have ever used, ever. And I think we're going to do a mid-year Techo Kaigi and see how I've progressed through these notebooks, if I've been able to keep up after 6 months, and see how that planning goes. But I know this was a really long video. I apologize. If you got through to here, leave a little purple heart in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. And hopefully you guys get some ideas of what you can use your empty notebooks for, what you can use your planners. If you have, if you're new to Hobonichi, I kind of want to make a video of all of the ideas of how you can use your planner too, because that's something I was struggling with. And one of the best resources that I have found on what to do with like my Hobonichis is following April from Penguins Creative. She is a huge Hobonichi fan, and she has a blog that she has written a whole bunch of stuff of like how she uses her Hobonichi stuff, and it was really helpful for me when I was trying to decide how I would use mine. So I will tag her Instagram, and I will tag the exact blog post that I used when trying to come up with ideas, so you guys can reference that too. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching this YouTube video. Don't forget to leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe. I have a lot of fun things planned for 2022, and I will see you in the next one. Okay? Peace.